Hi everybody, I'm Mike Staver. This is Mondays with Mike, a weekly video series where we take a look at coaching in action. Well, we don't take a look at it. You take a look at coaching in action. This is my opportunity to coach you up in real time. In real time, I actually have 50-minute coaching sessions, but I do these in 2 minutes so that I can get as much coaching out to folks as I possibly can. That's why I am an executive coach. Let's take a look. How can I know when to be supportive and when I should be direct? How do I know when to be supportive and when to be direct? How do I know when I should be supportive and when I should be direct? It's pretty straightforward. This that I'm doing with you is directive coaching. And the reason it's directive coaching is because I'm not in front of you. I'm not talking to you. But if I were in front of you and you were my client and you were sitting across the desk from me, what I would do is I would evaluate the thing we're working on. So if you want to know the difference, or if you want to know when to be supportive versus when to be directive, you figure out what the person's trying to do. What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to get a project finished? Are they trying to have a difficult conversation? What are they trying to do? And then you evaluate how well they're doing. If they're doing well and making progress, you err on the side of supportive, right? Which is collaborative and that kind of thing. If they're starting to fail, in other words, if they're getting behind, if they're not meeting their deadlines, if they're doing those kinds of things, then what you want to do is create a space where you are working harder and harder at teaching and telling and directing. Directive doesn't mean bossy. Directive just simply means evaluating what that person needs. Sometimes a person's going to need something really, really specific. And if they need something specific, don't over ask. While that's supportive, it isn't very helpful. So you decide what strategy you're going to use based on what they need. If the person's drowning, they don't need you to collaborate with them. They need you to save them. If a person's struggling at work, they don't need you to be collaborative and all that. They need you to jump in and either teach or tell or direct. So you do what the person needs. If your kid is struggling in math, you don't go, come on, I believe in you. You instead sit down and go, let's break down the problem step by step so that you can have better results. So the more they're struggling, the more directive and involved you want to get, the more they're moving in the right direction, the more supportive. But it's not a light switch. It's a dimmer switch. Hope that's helpful. If today's message helped, imagine what answering your question could do for you. Again, I know some of you are shy. Some of you have shared with me that sometimes my answers are a little scary. So don't worry. They've taken your names off all these questions. I don't even know who asked what question. Could be my mom. I don't know. Send your questions to info@mikestaver.com. I'll work them in. In the meantime, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We'd love to have you as members of our community. Take care.